While the chili simmers, let's look at 3 fun family crafts you can do at home. What are we gonna do today?
So today we're going to make some salt dough ornaments, we're going to do some popcorn garland, and we're going to do some fabulous dried fruit ornaments.
That sounds great. Those sound like things that you can find in your pantry.
These are definitely things that you can find in your pantry. All of them are economical and you don't have to store them if you don't want to.
My husband would like that.
My husband would love that too.
If there's one thing we've learned restoring these cabins, it's that pioneers kept it simple.
Oh, absolutely. And they used what they had on hand and were completely resourceful.
So let's get to it. So how do we get from here to here? Well, that's the drying process. And there's several ways we can do that.
In my case, I used a dehydrator, but I know that a dehydrator is not always readily available for everyone in their homes. So this can be easily dried in your oven at a setting of about 200 from 30 minutes to a couple of hours, depending on the type of fruit you're drying. Just watch it periodically, turn it around, make sure it's not burning, and I promise it'll turn out beautifully. Right now, I'm going to show you how to create an orange ornament using orange slices and bay leaves. So first thing you're gonna do is you're going to take, in this case, I'm using a paper clip, just a plain paper clip, and you're going to utilize that to make a hole for your hanging string. I've already created one with a hole here. We're going to take our string, thread it through the orange, and sometimes you can use your paper clip to help you push that through. And then you are left with a beautiful hanging orange slice. Now, to make it even more authentic, we have bay leaves that we've taken and glued together. You take that bay leaf and you use 1 dot of hot glue and you glue those leaves to the orange like that. Not all pioneers had ovens to dry their fruit, and they definitely didn't have dehydrators. So what did they do? They used the power of the sun, and it would take weeks to get their fruit dried out, but the end result was just the same as what we get today.
Yep. So today we also dried apples, limes. Look at this little cute fruit trio. This is a lemon, a lime, and an orange.
And this
How
one
beautiful.
we've got a tangerine, an apple, and a lime. So the options are really endless.
Yeah, you could create garland. You could put this in a wreath. You could just make little ornaments.
Well, and the great thing about apples is you can cut them multiple ways. So you can do a traditional apple cut, or you can do something that shows the star in the middle of the apple. Another great opportunity to talk about why the star is symbolic in Christmas. And it was definitely something that was symbolic in traditional pioneer Christmas, because they did not have a lot other than the story of Christmas and things like fabulous dried fruit.
So add a little pioneer luxury to your tree this year with some dried fruit.
I promise you won't be disappointed, and the kids are gonna love it. So, are we gonna watch a Christmas movie?
What?
Why is that popcorn stale?
Because it's not for the movies, it's for Garland.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. Because you don't want popcorn with butter and salt on it for your garland.
No, you actually want day-old popcorn or so. It's kind of gotten soft, so it's easier to put on your garland.
I love this. So how are we gonna get this garland started? Because it's gonna look beautiful on the tree.
Oh yeah, this is a super simple craft. You will need a needle and thread. So if you don't have one, maybe call up grandma. She can slip it on your doorstep. And maybe even a thimble, because you don't want to poke yourself.
Absolutely.
I forgot my thimble today, so my fingers are at my mercy.
Well, we have strong thumbs, so we're ready for this project. Join us.
So I've already pre-threaded my needle, and one thing you want to do when you're stringing popcorn is you're actually going to make a big loop. So instead of a tail, like a short tail, like when you're sewing, my strings are going to be tied together at the end. And this will allow me to have a stopping point when I start threading. The other great thing you can do is take some fresh cranberries and use them either in between your popcorn through the whole garland or as a stopper at the back. So it's gonna stop, and then I'm just gonna thread this right through the popcorn. And you just pull, just like that. You just keep going. See, my popcorn could be even a little bit more stale. So we're gonna keep doing this and we'll show you the result.
Now we're done. We've got our cranberry stoppers and we've got our beautiful string of popcorn.
And it's so pretty.
It is. You could have done a pattern where you do cranberry popcorn, or create your own custom pattern. That would be a good opportunity for a younger child to go in and create the pattern for you, just laying out the popcorn and cranberries.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh, and it could even be a counting
activity.
Yes.
And then an older child or an adult can help string them onto the string.
Oh, it's perfect. And the thing I love the most about this is when you're done with it, this is easily compostable and you can utilize it for your spring garden. So whether you're planting a flower garden or a vegetable garden, this stuff is gonna compost beautifully, and that's exactly what the pioneers would have done. Okay, so one of my favorite old-time ornaments is a salt dough ornament.
And if you visited our socially distanced Santa today, your family should have gotten a salt dough ornament kit. So we're gonna show you how to make it. And if you didn't get a kit today, don't worry, you should probably have these pantry staples on hand.
So what you're gonna need is going to be table salt, flour, and some water. It's super easy, and we're gonna put it together for you and show you just how simple it is. So once your salt dough ornament has come out of the dehydrator or oven, it will look like this. It's hard, it feels almost like polymer clay does. These salt dough ornaments are a perfect way to make a keepsake that you can have for years and years.
Actually, yeah, my husband and I, when we moved into our first house, we took our house key and we imprinted it on salt dough before we baked it. And we wrote the date that we moved into our house, and it was our first Christmas ornament.
And with a little log cabin style cookie cutter, or even a round ornament cookie cutter, those are fantastic memories to keep. I can see this also being a hand print or even a puppy dog print, and it's something that you can keep forever, but it doesn't cost a lot of money. It's fun, and it really is something that you'll remember forever.
You can also take it and let kids press in different items, like maybe some herbs or different textures, and see what they get before they bake them.
Oh, I love that. There's lots of different ways you can hang these on your tree. You could use a traditional wire hook, or in this case, you could use some raffia. It's absolutely fantastic, and I promise it's gonna be something that y'all will love.
We hope these simple crafts add a little pioneer fun to your Christmas. Make memories, enjoy the simple things, just like pioneers and cowboys did.
Now we have a special Christmas prayer from one of our favorite cowboys.
You know, sometimes we wonder how the cowboy was religious and how we know he was spiritual, because when the wagon was out for 11 or 12 months at a time, he couldn't go into town with his family and go to church. He was out at that wagon in God's great cathedral, enjoying the nature and watching the prairie come alive every morning, listening to the cattle bawl as they came off the rims of the canyon down into the roundup grounds. We know he was spiritual because if you haven't never been there, you wouldn't know how spiritual it really is. But believe me, it's really spiritual. So when S. Omar Barker wrote a poem called Cowboy's Christmas Prayer, it's one of my favorites, and I want to do it for you. I ain't much good at praying, and you may not know me, Lord, for I ain't much seen in churches where they preach thy holy word. But you may have observed me out here on the lonely plains, looking after cattle, feeling thankful when it rains, admiring thy great handiwork, the miracle of grass, and aware of thy kind spirit in the way it comes to pass that hired men on horseback and the livestock that we tend can look up at the stars at night and know we've got a friend. So here's old Christmas coming on, reminding us again of him who's come and brought goodwill into the hearts of men. The cowboy ain't no preacher, Lord, But if you'll hear my prayer, I'll ask as good as we have got for all men everywhere. Don't let no hearts be bitter, Lord. Don't let no child be cold. Make easy beds for them that's sick and them that's weak and old. Let kindness bless the trail we ride, no matter what we're after, and sort of keep us on your side, in tears as well as laughter. I've seen old cows a-starving, and it ain't no happy sight. So please don't leave no one hungry, Lord, on thy good Christmas night. No man, no child, no woman, and no critter on 4 feet. I'll do my doggone best to help you find them chuck to eat. I'm just a sinful cowpoke, Lord. Ain't got no business praying. But still, I hope you'll catch a word or two of what I'm saying. We speak of Merry Christmas, Lord, and I reckon you'll agree there ain't no Merry Christmas for nobody that ain't free. So one thing more I ask you, Lord, just help us what you can to save some seeds of freedom for the future sons of man. Amen.